GKI is pleased to introduce the newest member of our family. It is designed to provide newly hired home visitors and supervisors with great kids material to use during family visits prior to their becoming GGK certified. As you know, growing great kids depends on growing great relationships, both between parents and their children, as well as parents and their home visitors. As home visitors interact with the Great Kids Great Start e-learning units and use their Great Kids Great Start modules, they'll be building foundational knowledge and skills, resulting in families receiving relationship-based, child-focused, family-driven, and strengths-enhancing visits. The primary purpose of Great Kids Great Start is to provide GGK curriculum-related training and materials that will set the stage for home visitors to build meaningful relationships with families prior to their participation in a comprehensive Tier 1 GGK certification. Through e-learning units and relationship-focused, family-driven, child-centered conversation guides, new home visitors will begin to understand how to develop genuine relationships with families that show how much they care. The modules are divided into 3 units that include pre-birth, post-birth, and family bolstering conversation guides. They'll learn to structure home visits with a primary focus on fostering secure parent-child attachments and optimal childhood development. They'll be introduced to action tools like accentuating the positive and problem talk. The Great Kids Great Start series will even provide clear guidance on using the conversation guides interactively to learn about what families already know and what is important to them as they share information in an engaging manner and bring attention to the parent-child attachment relationship. Let's spend a few minutes now just taking a brief tour of the GK Professional Development Academy and the Great Kids Great Start course. Once you and your staff have been enrolled in the Great Kids Great Start course, you'll receive access via email with login credentials to what we're calling our GK Professional Development Academy. When you click on the link, it will take you into something that will look very similar to this. You'll simply click on the Great Kids Great Start link. That will take you into sort of a general overview of what's happening in the course. From there, you can click here to go directly into the course. This happens to be someone who has already completed it, but it would normally take you into the first unit. So you would be able to play the video. So this first video is really just an introductory video that will allow the home visitor to get sort of a general overview of what they'll be looking at in the course as they work their way through each of the units. You can see here that there are several units. The first one is, again, just sort of that general introduction. The second one is another video on early brain development. The third one walks them through how to use a conversation guide, something that we talk extensively about in the GGK Tier 1 certification, but they're going to be looking at this prior to that. So this will give them an understanding of how to use the conversation guide in the Great Kids Great Start manual in a way that feels interactive with the family and engaging. This next one is Unit 4, really talking them through how to get a good understanding of what it is the family wants for their children, and being able to then sort of emergently work their way through the curriculum. In Unit 5, we'll be looking at one of our action tools, the accentuating the positive, and it explains to them how to really kind of capitalize on those moments when parents are doing things well and coming from that strength-based approach. Unit 6 gives some really good examples of why we do child development activities, as well as how to do a child development activity during their home visits. If you look here, you'll also see that there's a section that's really just labeled child development activities, and it explains in this that they're going to want to do a child development activity at each home visit, but it also then starts to tell them about the fact that they'll be able to download or print out all of those activities via this button up here where it says Files. The activities, the activity handouts, so this is for the handouts that they would then leave with the parent, so the parent had an understanding of how to do that. And you can see that they're grouped by the age of the child. So there are several activities that are appropriate to kind of all of the different ages from birth all the way up to 36 months of age. And so when they would click on that, then what it will do is bring up that actual activity handout, and that can be downloaded or printed, and printing it out and taking it with them to the family is going to be an important part of what they do there. Then from the handout, in order to get back into the course, you'll see that the handouts themselves or any of the files will open in a separate tab. So I'm just going to go back into the Academy and kind of finish touring you through. The next unit, Unit 7, is Problem Talk, and in this particular video there's talking points that advance through here a little bit. There's some talking points that give them an idea of what Problem Talk is about and why we do it. And then you'll actually see that there are some demonstrations.
Leave him, he's happy. He smiles at her, he's already familiar with her. So he doesn't feel as mad.
So that's a part of what we've tried to include in each of these units, is not only lectures or explanations, but then some actual examples of a home visitor doing the thing that we've talked about, with some labeling and things that will help make that more clear to the home visitor as they're learning about these different pieces of the Great Kids Great Start curriculum. Unit 8 is particularly designed to help them work through a home visit and how to structure a home visit. And it walks them through sort of step by step what are the different components of a home visit, and exactly how that works. Just giving you kind of a general idea. So here's where we're taking them through the various components of a home visit.
Is making connections. This is a time at the beginning of each visit to check in with the family. Playtime is another component of the Great Kids Great Start home visit. This is a time of joyful interaction between the parent and child. The problem talk portion of the visit guides your discussion around any challenges the parent is experiencing. It will also be important to spend a portion of your visit on helping grow the family's support network. Finally, you'll end the visit with home time, which gives you an opportunity to talk about what they'll be doing between visits and plan the next visit with the family. Let's explore each of these components in a little bit more detail.
So you can see that, again, we've done some explanation, and then we're going to do some examples in the home visit, in the video as well, of an actual home visit. And then once they've kind of worked their way through, I guess another important piece to mention is the parent handout piece. So we talked about up here the child development activity handouts. There are also several activities in each of the modules that will require parent handouts. So again, we've got a section in here that explains to them what the parent handouts are and that they'll want to print those out. And again, looking in the files area to find those will actually be labeled MH and the unit that they fall in the Great Kids Great Start manual. So MH means a manual handout, and it's something that then they will again want to go in
look at, and they can either be downloaded or printed. And when they print those out, then that would be something that they would leave with the family during that home visit. So the handouts work a little bit differently in the Great Kids Great Start than they do in GGK itself. So again, we'll go back in and just kind of finish things up. The final portion is the Great Kids Great Start quiz. And when you go into the quiz, again, this is one that's already completed, but what you'll see is that they will be asked a few different questions based on the modules that they've just completed. After they've marked this as course complete, it will bring them up the opportunity to download their actual completion certificate. So the completion certificate will show up over here. It will have their name and the information that they need automatically generated. They can download that or print it out, and that indicates that they are now certified to use this for the next 4 months. And at some point during that 4-month time period, they'll need to complete the full Growing Great Kids Tier 1 certification course, because this will expire within 4 months. So that's going to be an important piece to remember. And that's kind of it as far as the tour of the actual e-learning part of the course. Thanks for taking the time to review our Great Kids Great Start package. Hopefully, you're as excited as we are about the April 18th, 2016 release. The $249 price of the product includes 4 months of access to the Great Kids Great Start e-learning course for both the new home visitor and the sponsoring supervisor, a hard copy Great Kids Great Start manual with introductory conversation guides for up to 4 months of family visits, and access to the digital files of parent handouts and child development activities via the GK Professional Development Academy. So, if you're interested in ordering or gathering more information about our Great Kids Great Start series, you can go to our website. It's greatkidsinc.org, and from the homepage you'll actually see an area where you can go into a page that will give you lots more information about the Great Kids Great Start series, and will also give you the opportunity to go directly to the certification order form. Important things to know about this are that it must be with the supervision of a GGK certified supervisor, so we will need their name and email address as well as all the rest of the information here to be filled out. And then once you submit that order, that will come into us and we will take care of you from there.